Hello, hello, everyone. How are you? Bienvenidos. Welcome in. Welcoming. Thank you all so much for joining us. It is the final Saturday scoreboard before the end of the TBR Blitz. How's it going on your team? All of you talk at once. Go.
It's awesome. It's going great.
Second, it's been incredible seeing everyone's passion for it.
Yeah, it's been a really good week. It's been really fun.
So have you guys all been doing reading sprints?
I haven't done as many this week as I did in my first week because it's all sort of piled up and I'm like, whoa, that's been a lot this month. But I've had some really great ones. So.
And then Kay, you don't do sprints?
It depends. It depends on what is allowed by my 2-year-old, and that's just, as we know, unpredictable.
Yeah.
So I've joined a couple with Andrew, but this past week we couldn't work it out.
And the 2-year-old really does have the final say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just doesn't listen to reason. It's weird.
Yeah, and they refuse to keep schedule. I mean, they're just so unreliable. I mean, come on.
No negotiation at all. No compromise.
How about you, George?
So we've been doing them at a more personal thing, just in the voice chat.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been stringing them on the YouTube just because with schedule and everything else, I don't want to commit to a time.
Yeah.
So jump in when we can.
Yep.
Nice.
But late night sprints were the best, though.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'm not sure if you guys will have to correct me in the chat, but I think we've done my time like 2:30 or 3 in the morning a couple of times this last week. We've been in the voice chat reading. Yep.
Where's your comfortable reading time for all of you guys? Are you like read during the day, or is it like last thing you do before you go to bed? You like wake up in the morning and start your day with a book? I mean, what is your normal reading time?
All of the above.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever the mood strikes. So.
Because George, I know that you'll like start off the day with a book, and like you've got a plan, right? You've got a little bit of time in the morning, and you want to use that for books before your day starts, right?
Yeah. So I get 2 hours of uninterrupted reading time, and then I plan out my day from 7 a.m. onwards. And then if I can fit reading in, I do, but I don't plan on it. And then I plan on at least an hour at night. So I read 3 hours a day guaranteed.
Yeah.
Usually more than that.
Do any of you sneak in books at work?
I did when I worked.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It would be, right, it's lunchtime. I can do in an hour between 50 and 60 pages. So I'd go to that point in the book, put my bookmark in and start reading. And when I hit my bookmark, my lunch hour was over. So, and it was very rare that I didn't come pretty close.
I've attempted to read, but my 2-year-old supervisor smacks the book out of my hand pretty quick. So, when they're napping.
I don't know how you read with a 2-year-old at all because they're mobile now.
Yeah, you don't. Not if you value your book.
Right? It's like this little tiny tank moving through your house at all points in time, destroying everything you have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're perfectly fine playing by themselves until you pick up that book.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Or get on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I get all of your attention, all of it. It doesn't matter what I'm doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but notice that you were not paying enough attention to me. Let me fix that for you.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm just going to tap on your head for half an hour.
Yep.
So what did you guys read this week?
I read an Anne McCaffrey book that I didn't know existed,
Right.
and I was so happy to find because it was in a world I knew, so I could read it reasonably easily. And I was heartbroken because I only gave it 2 stars, and some of that was nostalgia. And I was like,
Oh my
that was
gosh.
really sad.
Oh,
Okay, so there's a reason you didn't know it existed.
Yeah, clearly,
Okay.
nobody was hyping it. Nobody was talking about it because I didn't know about it. And then, and I found it. At the
Okay,
second
I'm sorry.
shop
How
and just
did-
read it, and
How disappointing was that?
Very. Like, I nearly cried. I was like, this was just not a fun thing.
Why did you hurt me, Anne?
Definitely. And it was like book 5 of a series that, okay, had been dwindling. But I'm like, okay, now you've kind of just ruined a whole bunch of other books that I actually really liked. And it was really sad.
Okay, I'm really sorry that you had that experience.
But
Ooh,
I'm almost finished Thrice. So
okay.
that's proving to be more enjoyable.
Nice.
Wait, hang on. Madison, I love you. And
Madison, we're just building the suspense.
Forever.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Jordan, what are you reading this week?
So I reread My Frozen. My
Your
camera
voice
might
is
be.
fine.
Okay. You could just look at me like that.
You sound great.
Perfect. I reread Red Rising again, finished up that one, started book 2, Golden Sun, reading The Lions of Lucerne and Combat Codes.
Nice.
Wow, so you're all over the. This is this week?
Yep.
God bless you. Wow. Wow. Okay. Ooh. So I want to ask, did Red Rising satisfy second time around? Did you find more pieces in it? Was it like, oh yeah, this was okay, moving on to the next book? What was it like?
No, I really enjoyed it. So the first time, like, I just I read it physical, but then the second time I did it with the audio because I heard it was fantastic. So I wanted to compare my experience between just the physical read and the audio, and kind of did more of the immersion read. Like the audio is really great, but I still prefer to read like in a physical format. It's just always been my preferred, but it was great either way that I read it.
That makes me very happy.
Right along with you.
Yeah, I've been getting, she's at the end of Morningstar right now, and I'm getting all of the text messages right now,
Nice.
which I'm loving.
That's Kay, how about you?
Yeah, I managed to finish The Soul's Instruments by Mark Holloway, which is book 2 in the Aspect series. I was very happy with that because the author just dialed it up, and I love seeing that for sequels where it doesn't get that lull. It just goes all in. And I'm currently reading The Last Keeper by J.V. Hillard, which is kind of a more high fantasy book and YA. So some prophecy, some adventure, some really interesting world building.
Nice. Well, actually, Tori just had a conversation the other day or yesterday about what is YA. Did you come to a conclusion?
Sort of. Not, yeah. I kind of came to the conclusion that a good book is a good book, and I'm tired of trying to fit things into subcategories.
Yeah.
And because I just filmed my top 10 fantasy sci-fi books of all time currently, because I wanted to have something to look back on in like a year or two.
Yeah.
And I have a couple YA books on that list, and I'm like, everything from that to Malazan, and it's just whatever the book was trying to do, it did really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. So to clarify then, based on that term, the reason I put it under YA, or I don't know if it's generally under YA, but the reason I feel like it's YA is because the main characters are about 16 to 19. So they're all geared towards the younger adults.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of a requirement somewhere in there as teenagers. And but after that, it's like all bets are off. It's like grimdark. It's like I don't know. It's something.
It's
People are
got words.
mean. I don't know.
Tells a story. And
Right. So Tori, how about you?
I read The Blade itself this week, finished that, and had a good time with it. And I'm now starting Before They Are Hanged.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. And I also today during the reading sprints finished Those Once Forgotten, which is book 2 it's a sci-fi indie series by N.C. Scrimger. I think I'm pronouncing her name correctly. And I got a little choked up at the end, which I was impressed by. I was like, good job. All right. Okay. Yep. So that was nice. And yeah, I think I've definitely let myself slow down a little bit this week and just kind of round out the month with some, I'm not trying to push through anything else. I'm just kind of closing up the reads and enjoying it. So
Nice.
yeah.
My streak continues. I'm so lucky, so friggin' lucky. All of my books have worked out. I've really liked all of them for very, very different reasons, and they all brought something new to the table. And I gotta be honest, I feel like I've discovered an author that I want to pursue quickly. Drew Hayes with Secondhand Curses.
Ooh.
I feel what's great is that it's 200 pages, or like 202. It barely fit into the requirement. And whatever it was about the writing style, about the storytelling, about the fact that maybe it was short, but great sense of humor throughout, yet having layered characters that have a backstory with things that need to be resolved. I was like, it was so good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he does. Have you guys read him?
I've got a couple of Drew Hayes on my wish lists because I'm like, this sounds really great and I want to read them. But
there we are.
Yep. The Fred the Vampire Accountant
Yeah.
one is the one I'm going to start with, and I can't wait. It's going to be
Okay. Great. Well, holler when you get to it, because I'll see if I can read it at the same time as you, because he's very good.
I'm excited. I know Andrew Wizard really, really likes him a lot as an author. So
yeah, that's where I've got Drew Hayes from.
Yep,
is
same.
through Andrew. Yeah.
He was talking about his interview with Drew Hayes.
Got like demonetized
by YouTube for having too many F-bombs.
Yeah.
You just got to be able to bleep him in real time. I'm sure we could figure out a technology for that.
Oh yeah.
So, did you have standout stars on your team this week? Did you have people that finished all 5? Did you have people go above and beyond what they thought they were able to accomplish? Did you have good cheerleaders on your team this week? Like, who are the people
all of the above?
Yes.
Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah.
I started a leaderboard in the Stack Smashers where, with all of my graphs and what have you, I thought, well, I can't give them points updates, but I can give you how individually we're all going. So my top 3 readers have been being put into the Stack Smashers thread saying, this is the best ones. This is the guys who are really putting in the work. And it's been pretty stable until about 4 days ago, because suddenly everybody's finishing books as we're getting close to the end of the readathon. And that top 3 has changed a lot. And overnight, we've had a new leader come through and has cleared the top 3 of being all girls, which it's been for like the last, 12, 13 days. And Ben has come through and by quite a big margin just gone, no, I've read the most pages of everyone. And he's read 2,986 pages in his 5
Wow.
books, which is so impressive. So I was like, yeah, that kind of blew everybody out of the water.
3,000 pages is what he said?
I know, right? So yeah.
That's a lot of pages.
It is a lot of pages. It's so yeah, and everybody's cheering everybody on, and there are people too who don't normally read this much and are getting kind of burnt out on it, and they're struggling. And but everybody's like, it's okay, you can do it. Whatever you get in is fine. Don't worry, we've got you. And it's such a fantastic vibe. It really is. So
nice.
Tori,
Tori, how about you?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I mean, Anitha kind of said this in the chat. Our whole team is like cheerleaders. So there really isn't anybody in the team. I have had, I think at the beginning of the readathon, I had 3 team members who, who were going to drop out. And they just weren't sure if they could handle it, and they were kind of getting cold feet. And I didn't lose anybody. I talked them all into staying, and I was like, you know what? Just come in and hang out. You're here for whatever you want to do is totally fine. And like they have been showing up, submitting books, and Ray in the chat, he just submitted his 5th one this week. And like they've all been active in the chat. And what I've loved seeing is as we've gotten closer to the end of April, the people who are kind of observing a little bit more at the beginning are now really starting to come out of their shells and participate in the group chat and like have a good time. And just the number right. And the number of people that are just like, this is such a great space is just making me so happy. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah, and they've created that. I mean, that's really shout out to the team because they've all been amazing at creating an awesome space to be in.
I'm amazed when people finish their 5 and stay in it.
Oh yeah.
Right. It's like, I'm not here for me anymore. I'm here for you.
Yep.
It's been amazing.
It's just the coolest.
It's really sweet.
Okay, how about the bards? Are they singing hymns to each other?
Oh, yes. Got to cheer them on with the lute. It really is just an echo of what Derry and Tori have said. Everyone has been incredible. I've had quite a few of our readers submit their 5 books. Others who are working, they've got their 4 books in, they're working on their 5th, and others who they're submitting them as they're going. We had some readers, hi Jordan, we had some readers pop in about 2 weeks after the readathon started, just with some carryovers that they had from March, but they are plugging away. Those who have finished their 5 books are staying, cheering on the team, and I am just so impressed with everyone, their spirit, their energy, and with how much they're accomplishing as a team, because the numbers just blow me away.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just great seeing, because there's some people on the teams where it's like, you're going to read 5 books the first week. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. And like there are some that I've had read only 1 or 2, and that's fantastic. You read a book, you got it off your TBR, and you had fun chatting with people, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's the whole. Secretly, we don't care about the points. We just want the friendships.
Pretty much.
Don't tell anybody.
We've actually, I've said that in my chat quite a few times. Look, don't panic. Points are gravy.
They really
the main thing here is you're getting
the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. So since we've established that points don't matter, let's get to the points. We should torture Madison some more. So did anybody watch the NFL draft? I'm sure we can talk about that for like
Andy.
half an hour. Okay, so I think going up the order from last time, I believe that Kay, you have first position for points.
So wait, am I going first?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it was a fantastic week. I gave my team a milestone without telling them what the milestone was. I just said, we're going to hit one. So get on it.
Yep.
But before I share that, we actually had a changeover in our most popular prompt.
Ooh.
So it changed from the recent edition to continue a series at 20 submissions for continuing a series.
Wow.
So as someone who needs to finish series, I'm impressed by everyone who's doing that. They're continuing that.
Well, that was one of the things that we were hoping for right from the beginning, was because all of us do that first book, and it's like, I really enjoyed that. Goodbye. And
Comes out, I'm sorry, who are you? Yeah.
right.
Never to be seen again.
Yep. Yeah.
In terms of the milestone that I did not explain, I just said it would be fun and cool, was submitting 100 books as a team.
Wow.
And they surpassed that, submitting 124
Oh my God.
for a total points for so far in the readathon, 349. And what's amazing to me is out of these 124 books, only 12 do not have reviews.
Nice. Wow.
Whoa.
That is insane, Kay. That is
I'm so
absolutely insane.
So, wait, you're at a 90% rate on reviews?
Thereabouts, yeah. I'm blown away by everyone.
Wow.
That's okay, I just gotta say, it's really, really outside of people's comfort zone. Like,
Yeah.
either they think they have to write something mind-blowing and insightful that nobody's ever thought of, or they're just not really comfortable putting the words down. And to have people do that across the board is amazing.
Yeah. And reading through some of them, because I did, and I'm curious, and my TBR suffers for it. But there were some who did write essays. They explained everything out, and there were others who just, couple lines, short and sweet. This is why I liked or didn't like it in some cases, and moved on. Right. So even if it's short, it makes a difference. And I think that, I'm so proud of the bards.
Nice work.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I feel like the best thing I can contribute is, you should read this. Here's why. 2 sentences. Bye.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have that much to contribute, but I know that it helps out the book and the author. So, so 349. Okay, 349 points for the bards. Moving up to the smashers.
And my team did some serious smashing in the last just over a week. In just the last 9 days, my team read 52 more books. They read over 23,500 pages. And out of a possible, let me think, how many could they have got? They could have got 100 and, I don't remember. They actually got 145 points just this week, which has just blown all of our previous scores out of the water. So altogether, we have read 138 books. We've read over 62,000 pages, and we have 397 points.
That is amazing. You have 138 books?
Yeah.
So just between the bards and the smashers, it's over 250. It's over 260. 262 books. I'm sorry. I think that's amazing. And we're talking about what? 30 active people per team?
Yep.
Thereabouts.
Altogether, 34 of my 38 have put in at least one book.
I love it.
We've got 30 submitting right now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
All right. Since Madison is quaking in her boots, we'd like to take a pause for a commercial break. Oil, motor oil, and why you should install it in your car.
Yeah.
All right. So throughout the beginning, especially right off the bat, the spelunkers were muscling their way through this thing. And last week, just barely fell below the barbarians. So, Jord, where are the spelunkers this week?
We're deep diving. So we also are continuing a lot of series. It has almost 20% of the submissions.
Nice.
So far, which is really, really cool, considering that everybody can only put it in once. But I know a lot of people are reading more of those series. But really great participation again. Have had a few that have reached out saying that stuff came up, goes that way. Completely understand, but they're still welcome to come and read with us, even if they're not submitting books. And go that route. So it's been really cool. Really like the camaraderie and that type of thing. We're still at an average of 439 pages, and we officially passed the 70% mark of total books that could be submitted.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So, we're actually a little bit behind Derry's book count, but we do have more points because of reviews of 135 books for 403 points as of my cutoff.
403. Oh my gosh. The Smashers are closing in. The Smashers are closing in. Tori's got the excited hands going. Before we get to the Barbarians, I just want to ask a favor of everybody.
That's the stressed hands, Andy.
The stressed hands.
Stressed hands.
And we've got 2 more days. But before we get to the final number, I do want to say, everybody watching this, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 amazing booktubers right here. If you have not subscribed to their channels yet, please take a moment to do so. You'll just get a little pop-up when you get a new video going. And well, you already know that all of them have things that you want to hear. So take that opportunity and subscribe to their channels. Toot sweet right now. In fact, Madison will wait while you subscribe
Pass out.
Right. Hey. We're gonna have to revive Madison in the Barbarian chat later.
Oh, I love it. Okay, Tori, here we go.
Okay.
On April 29th, mere moments, days before the end of the competition, where do the Barbarians stand?
Okay, so I have stats. I actually was prepared this time with some actual stats because I did the same thing as Kay this week, and my Barbarians are very patient with me because I can't give them points or numbers, and so I'm always like, guys, if you give me like 10 submissions, we'll hit a really cool milestone. I can't tell you what that is, but it's going to be really cool, and I can tell you about it on Saturday. So I set 2 pretty lofty goals for us about a week ago of what I kind of tallied what I thought we could do. And I was like, all right, let's see if we can push this to these big numbers. We have every single member of the Beanie Barbarians has submitted a book, all 37 of them.
Whoa.
And we are currently at 45% of the team has submitted 5 books.
Wow.
Yep. So 17 out of 37 people have submitted 5 books. And I have a
Dang.
lot of 4-book people that are working on their last one today and tomorrow.
Wow.
So I'm really excited to see how big that number gets as of tomorrow night. This week, we read 46 books. And we have passed the milestone that I was telling you guys about a couple days ago of reading 150 books as a team. We're at 152 books read. We turned in 133 points this week for a total of 446 total points.
Wow.
And one of the things I wanted to share that I started watching averages this week because I was like, we've got enough weeks under our belt. We're turning in an average of 12 points per team member and 111 points per week average.
That is amazing.
So I am so proud. I'm so proud.
Wow.
So yeah, the other goal that I had set for us was 450 total points for the readathon, and we're only 4 points away from that. So we're gonna hit it, guys. So I'm really proud of you.
That's amazing.
Madison, medical services are
She's revived.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so we've got just like 30 some odd hours left before we get to May 1st.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So right here and now, what do you want to say to your team to drive them through this final push at the end of a month-long marathon? And Tori, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, guys, we've got 30 hours left, and I know a lot of you guys are working on your final book of the month, which is super exciting, or whether it's your 5th book, your 3rd book, or your 4th book. Let's get those last reads in because we can still hit some milestones in the next 30 hours. I'm really excited to see what numbers we can hit because you guys are on fire.
Absolutely. Jord, what do you got to say to the Spelunkers?
So we all know my favorite sport, and everybody knows the favorite thing about a basketball game is the buzzer beater.
It's that 3-point shot at the last second that gets you over. And hey, it turns out there are 3 points available to each and every reader right now.
Told you. Buzzer beaters.
It's kind of awesome. All I'm going to say to my guys is just keep doing what you're doing because it's amazing. We had our best week. We can keep going with that. It's the weekend. And hey, ultimately, we're all just knocking books off this TBR and keep going. It's amazing. Everybody's awesome.
Kay, close us out.
Well, you guys are just incredible. And you've blown me away with how much you've read, how much you have supported each other in the chat. Keep it up for those of you who have finished your 5 books. Keep cheering everyone on. Find those friendships and stick with them because book buddies are fantastic. And for those who are still reading, keep it up. We can do this.
Again.
And I'm 100% with you. The friendships and the relationships and the conversations are, I mean, the reason I keep coming back. And I got to see something the other day, and I can't remember who said it, but they said, oh my God, I just discovered this community, and nobody where I live reads books. And in a course of normal life, they wouldn't have anybody to talk to about this stuff.
Yep.
And now they're not alone. They got all of us idiots.
That's how I felt when I found BookTube. I was like, oh, I have people because I have found my people.
I found my people.
And yeah, it makes a big difference. So,
Well, and just
harass
being able to
everyone.
hang out with a bunch of like-minded people and being able to for them to recommend things to you and I experienced the same thing. Sometimes that emotional validation from somebody else of I felt the same way is like one of the biggest connections you can get because that's what you start talking about, those feelings and those emotions. That's just wonderful. So I'm delighted. I'm delighted that what you guys have done has had this effect in a positive way for a lot of people. And I just think it's phenomenal. And I want to thank you again and again and again and again for doing this and taking your time and being the leaders that we thought you could be and just taking everybody exactly where they needed to go. So I appreciate you.
Andy.
Yep.
So I really quickly added the totals of all of the teams' books that were said of how many books total for all 4 teams. We are officially at 549 books total read this readathon. So we're going to hit 550 books by tomorrow.
We're going to hit 500 and we're going to
by
blow
tonight,
the last
probably.
readathon out of the water.
Yep.
I mean,
Let's see at a readathon record. Let's hit 600.
Right.
Yeah.
So now officially, each one of you gets to be in contact with the leaders from the last readathon and tell them they suck. Sorry, Madison. All right, we finished with the Insulting Madison episode, and we all appreciate you.
Hey,
all
I don't
so very much.
appreciate you coming after my team member here, Andy. I'm going to have to play captain for a second.
Madison knows she can punch me in the face any given moment.
And as a stats queen, I kind of have to say, are the team numbers comparable?
Other team members comparable.
Yes.
As far as numbers go, like, did they have such big teams last time?
Madison had the same number of team members in the last readathon.
Oh, yeah, then they suck.
Gary, I love you.
I mean, so far she's still on the winning team. So
Okay,
I feel the next readathon brewing.
Sorry,
right? Madison's like, let me at him.
She's driving to my house right now. She's like, I know where you live.
If I live in an island on the arse end of the world, no one's coming for me.
I'm coming. I'm coming there.
Yeah.
You and I are going to have a drink when all this is over.
For sure.
All right. So like 30 hours to go. So everybody put on your kilts.
Yeah,
Get ready
I
to
still
go
have
to
my
war.
last book to finish.
Grab your axes.
Yeah.
Time to finish strong. All right, everybody.
We
Thank you
should
all so much
probably-
for joining us. We appreciate you, and we'll see you in a couple days. Bye.
May 2nd.
May 2nd.